In this job, it's easy to forget about all the tech. It feels like every week there is a new phone, or 2, or 3, or 4 that I need to test. But every now and then, I find a phone just sat at the back of the drawer that I used to love. So for the next week, I'm going to lock my S25 Ultra away in a drawer and pop my SIM into the Pixel 6 Pro. I'm Paul, and I'm going to see what it's like using a phone getting into its last year of software updates. Before I start, just let me show you how loved this phone is. There is a big gash there from something. The display has so many scratches on this side, and then on the other side, I don't know what someone's done to this. It looks like they've got it on the ground and just kind of like scrubbed it everywhere. And I don't mind this phone being a little bit scratched and knocked up because it shows that it's being used and it's got a little bit of love about it. I'm not just doing this because I love older phones. I'm doing this because 2026 is the last year that Google is going to push an update for the 6 Pro. And I just want to see how this phone holds up in its last official year. So cameras, software, and my biggest worry on this thing has got to be its battery.
There we go. It's dead. Battery completely gone. I knew it'd happen eventually.
Now, that was slightly unfair. To give the 6 Pro some credit, that was the only time the battery died on me, and that was because I didn't charge it to full. The rest of the time with this phone, the battery was actually fine. It was getting between 10 and 20% on most days, but this kind of depends on how I was using it. I fully expected this just to not hold up 5 years later, but you know what? It's actually killing it. Even in days with heavy use, I felt like I was getting by pretty well. Yes, the charging speeds are slow compared to the Pixel 10 Pro, but nothing you can't live with. And I also thought I'd be tethered to a charger with this, and it was quite a nice surprise that I wasn't. I did notice though that wireless Android Auto is kind of a no-go. This kills the battery and makes the phone very hot. I can't see the battery health of this phone, but I feel like it still has a couple of years left in it, which is something sadly I can't say about its software updates. Hang on a minute. Okay. I forgot. This Pixel doesn't have Face ID or Face Unlock, like, hello 2021. The 6 Pro definitely misses a few things that I'm used to. An ultrasonic fingerprint reader. Going back to the curved display took a little getting used to and lots of accidental touches. And this one is probably my fault, but it's got a pretty bashed up power button, so trying to double click it to get to the camera sometimes just takes a few tries. It takes a while to get there. We get there in the end, but you know what? There's one thing that this phone is not missing though, and that is Android 16. Running Android 16 on this Pixel 6 Pro, it's running like a beauty for pretty much everything. I haven't noticed too many differences between this and the Pixel 10 Pro. Material 3 Expressive gives it a fresh coat of paint. Animations stack up. You can change your app shapes. You can even add the animation of weather on your home screen, but I don't need that to tell me it's still raining. It pretty much keeps pace with the Pixel 10 Pro for talking to Gemini and even its AI tasks like photo editing. It does miss out on a few things like Reimagine and pixel screenshots and a little bit of AI magic within its camera, but you know, I can't say that I've missed them too much. The one thing that the Pixel 6 Pro still has though is the best recording app you can get on Android. Like, it transcribes everything so well, and yeah, I love this thing. The fact is I don't miss a lot of this, and it stacks up really well in terms of software, which is a nice surprise. I'm not quite sure if that shows how well the original Tensor chip has held up or how much the current Tensor chip hasn't evolved, but either way, the Pixel 6 Pro doesn't feel out of place. And I love that because I always hear people say how old Android phones don't hold up years down the line, but honestly, that's just not true. Maybe my one criticism would be that the phone still runs fairly hot when you push it past everyday doom scrolling. It handles gaming fine, but it can quickly warm up to a point where it's quite hot to the touch. I can't say that I've missed my 2025, 2026 flagships while I've been using this for the past week, and let's just take one moment again to just appreciate how well this whole phone's design stacks up. Like this, I think this is almost like peak Pixel design. Talking of design, if you ignore the years of dents and scratches, then I just still don't think this looks out of place being released in 2026. It's thin. It's light, and it was the first Pixel to give us that iconic camera visor. Like, there is a lot that this phone lends to the Pixel 10 series. And this still feels like, to me, the time Google decided it was going to make its phones look and feel premium. I can't say I'm a huge fan of curved displays, but this curved display does make this phone feel like it has no side bezel. And while the display isn't the brightest, I'm not complaining when it comes to a little bit of YouTube. The speakers sound good. Connecting my Pixel Buds Pro and Pixel Watch 4 to this honestly give me a good experience. This is on par with the newer Pixel 10s. It's not all rainbows and sunshine though with an older Pixel, because there are definitely things that are a bit frustrating. The charging speeds are slow, like it can take me a good 2 hours to get this thing back to full. The bright flash from the fingerprint reader is blinding, and I'm kind of a little bit sick at how slow this is. I also kind of miss the new wallpaper always on display. But if they are my only issues with a 5-year-old phone, then Google, I am a big fan of how this is holding up. You know what else I'm a big fan of? The cameras. I feel like the 48 megapixel main and telephoto have held up really well. I've been posting photos on Instagram all week and not one person has noticed that this is a 5-year-old camera. The only issue that I've had with the 4x telephoto lens is once you switch to it, it takes a second to kind of jump into the full lens, but when it does, the pictures are not too bad. They have great colors, dynamic range is pretty spot on. The only time it struggles though is in nighttime, and I'm not going to say that's just the telephoto lens, that's just the Pixel 6 Pro all over. And if you ever zoom into that image, it doesn't quite keep a lot of detail, especially when comparing it to those newer Pro Pixels. But let me try something. Let's see if you can tell what photos are from the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 10 Pro XL. There are definitely a few things that you might notice that tells you which of these is a newer Pixel. But comparing them side by side without me telling you which one of these phones is what, it's kind of difficult to tell. The pictures on the right hand side are the Pixel 6 Pro and on the left are the Pixel 10 Pro XL. And I don't know if you all guessed that. The selfie camera also isn't great, and when it turns to video, it's also not amazing.
Stop being naughty.
Video in daylight is okay, like stabilization is nothing to shout home about, you move it too quickly and you can see these jitters, so it's a little bit annoying. I also think that the colors are not that accurate on the 6 Pro, they're just a little bit washed out and it doesn't look amazing.
And I know this phone is 5 years old, but this is a reminder of how bad the video is at night time. It's not great, is it? It's not good.
Honestly, going back to the Pixel 6 Pro, it's held up well, like better than I thought it could. And with Android 17 most likely being the last software update this phone will get, I still think it will handle that really well. Should you buy the Pixel 6 Pro in 2026? I'd say maybe not as your first choice, but mostly down to the lack of software update beyond 2026. I know a few of you out there are probably still using the Pixel 6 Pro as your daily, but I feel like now is probably the perfect time to upgrade to something like a Pixel 8 Pro if you don't want the latest and greatest. You might not notice a huge difference in terms of the everyday, but there's definitely going to be a few nice extras. More so, if you upgraded from something like the Pixel 6 Pro to a Pixel 8 Pro now, you're going to be getting software updates up until 2030, which is going to do you for quite a while. And I'm kind of hoping that this video might have convinced you that you don't need the latest and greatest, and that you can upgrade to an older Pro phone and still get a lot of those features, and it still works fine. Don't go listening to those people that say, oh, it's laggy, it doesn't keep up, the cameras aren't as good, because this is proof that the Pixel 6 Pro in 2026 still holds up really well. I am curious though to how many of you out there are still using the Pixel 6 Pro as your daily. Like, put it in the comments. I'm curious to how many people are watching are still driving this phone. Now, before you head off, if you can subscribe to the channel, that would mean a lot. We'd really appreciate it. And if you do that, then I'll see you in the next video.